This is Boerseun, and you are watching now Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope. So enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have got a special guest for you today. I'm going to play this because every time I hear this song, I always think of you. No, it's not playing. What the hell? Technology, I really do hate it.
Wow, great.
Every time I've watched you wrestle.
Wow.
And then through the curtain comes this 2-meter tall behemoth coming out there in all styles and everything like that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got an absolute legend, a man that needs no introduction. So I'm going to stop introducing him. The one and only Boerseun. Boerseun, how are you doing? How are you doing, Nubs?
Yeah, always good, my good. Always good. And you?
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. You've had a very interesting path in South African professional wrestling. Give us a bit of background about where the Boerseun came from.
Well, it was in the early 90s. I started with Bronco Universal. So, it was between Bronco and Paul Lloyd that time, All-Stars Wrestling. So I started with Bronco. Wrestled a couple of matches for him. And later on, the later stage, then I moved over to All-Stars Wrestling. And that's where it started.
Right.
But I started when I was 6 years old in the amateur wrestling. I never could have made it really up to the top with, Donnie Vogels and Brits and those guys because I was always a heavyweight type of it. But that time I actually wrestled just because I was playing rugby. So I used to play good rugby and so that was just to keep the upper body strength loose and tight and strong. So and then it turns to the professional wrestling and from there I enjoy it.
Yeah. So you were playing rugby and you were doing the amateur wrestling and things like that. What was the moment where you switched off the rugby mind and you started putting on the professional wrestling mind?
You know what? I think always it was my passion and my heart was in the wrestling. So we used to went always to the what was that stadium in Joburg, the Portuguese Sal.
Yeah.
So I was also getting psyched up there, and I used to love it and full crowds, and so I think that was a turnabout there.
Okay.
So from there I started, and it was a difficult decision where to start with the wrestling that time. There was I can't remember, there was a in Pretoria as well. I can't remember his name and surname and whatever of his professional. So I actually landed up with Bronco Universal that time. So that's where it actually started.
All right. Now, at one stage, you were married in inverted commas to Ananzi. You guys toured a lot and wrestled each other a lot in the beginning and things like that. In the beginning, was those kind of those days when you just thought, I just want to go out there and I just want to show everybody what I can do, and you got this guy next to you who's just who wants to do everything in the ring. How did you adapt to that, especially starting off so early in your career?
You know what? I always actually spotted talent when I met Ananzi and Steve Eden when they starting their professional career. It was just in the time when before the WWP Thunderstrike actually started recording. So actually they were still youngsters coming up to the wrestling, and I saw good talent there, and I always knew that Anansi will take it and Steve Eden will take it far. So to keep you fit and wrestle against them, that was a challenge that time, So. Yeah. You know what? When I actually wrestle in those times, actually I wrestle a lot against Spider Nell, AWB. So we used to wrestle the old heavyweight guys. So for me to adapt to this youngsters, all of a sudden you must just check they're coming from the top rope, high flyers, and all those things. It was quite a nice experience for me. We used to wrestle the old school. Sean Kuhn, those oaks. Best wrestling ever was Sean Kuhn, to be honest, because I think because he was also like a big oak that time, the first time I ever wrestled Sean Koen was in Marula Sun that time with Blanca. So he actually came from Cape Town. So that was the first time I ever met him with a Gladiator and Tommy and Jack Roke and all those type of those guys, AWB. So my first, well, that was not my first fight, but my first fight ever was against Sean Koen at the Marula Sun. So all of a sudden, I'm meeting this big guy, 195 kgs, and I will never forget it. That was that time in Marula Sun and a time in the Paro Civic Center where he actually threw me to the ropes. I was jumping into basically his arms, and he gorilla pressed me like this, and he's holding me like this, 123 kgs in the air. And on one stage, I said to him, Sean, all right, are you ever going to let me go down taking a bump, or are you going to hold me like this? So that was good times.
All right. You mentioned Spider Nell, and I just want to go back onto the old guys, especially, you being the size that you are. You're over 2 meters tall, and at that stage you were 120 kilograms. He's got a reputation for not liking rookies. Did he get you into the ring and get the chops to you, or bite your fingers or something like that? He's notorious for that stuff.
I wanted to tell you something about Spider. He was really, let's be honest, a fail cut, to be honest, with the rookie especially. So he had his false teeth always, and then he had a towel. So when you put the towel around your neck, I don't know how you know it, but just before you pass out, he releases the towel. So he went in hardcore. So really, that was Spider Nell. So I fought him a couple of times. So I actually realized, no, I'm not going to take this anymore. So I told him the one day, I said to him, you know what, I know your tricks now, so I'm telling you now to stop it. So and then I think I earned my respect as a rookie there.
Okay.
So actually, I was bullied by Spider Nell. And then another old guy still living, one of our biggest friends was Manny the Pharaoh. I've got big respect for Manny. Mm-hmm. I never saw a guy hitting the ropes like that, coming so fast from the ropes. Small little pora, but I enjoyed it. He was really a good wrestler as well.
And when he was at the Portuguese Hall in Turfentine on a Friday night, you couldn't get in. You couldn't get in, man. That place held, I think, 1,500 people, and like 2,500, 3,000 people show up.
Yeah, and all your Manny, the Pharaoh, and the people was going crazy. I think they lifted the Portuguese Hall roof when Manny came to the it's Portuguese Hall that side. So but he's a legend. He's really a legend. I'm telling you, Spider Nell, Stephen Tornado. He was a baby face like me. So in the beginning, I never actually wrestled against him. But a very good wrestler, one of the best top wrestlers. So great wrestling.
Awesome. Let's go to the first Thunderstrike tapings, because that was kind of a milestone, because the other wrestling shows had been on various other networks, and they had varying degrees of success. But the first season of Thunderstrike really did put a lot of wrestlers, made them household names, even more than they were. How did you find the Boerseun fitting into the WWE Thunderstrike, shall we say, whirlwind that happened with the first season?
Don't let me tell you one thing. It was quite adapting for me, because like at that time, what was it called? All Stars. What was the other guys from ETV? Sean Koen and them.
Yeah, that was AWA.
AWA.
Yeah.
So I was actually also in 2 months start wrestling for them. Maybe go there and come to WWP Thunderstrike. So I wasn't actually, I was actually told that if I go to AWA, I will never wrestle for WWP Thunderstrike. It was a tough decision, to be honest, and the only thing is, because all my actually wrestling mates was wrestled for AWA, Terry Madu, Jack, Sean Koen, and all those type of good wrestlers. So it was a difficult decision for me. So yeah, adapting to the first season of WWP Thunderstrike was actually really good. It was a new thing. It's like shooting into the camera with a red light. So it was what a good experience. So yeah, and then coming to the second season, all of a sudden there's all the AWA guys back. So yeah, or they were there. So in my heart, I was glad. So in the other time as well, I was actually not very happy with it because yeah, I could have made a big name with those acts as well, So I think that was just one of those things. Yeah. Honest, that's how it is, you know me. That's the wrestling life. So it's all about the season. What I actually wanted to tell you in life is that you must, if you make a decision, you must follow your heart. So never let people manipulate you. So that's the thing. Yeah, so yeah, could it be otherwise? But listen, every episode of every recording session of WWP Thunderstrike was a really good experience for me, and I enjoyed it. Guys looked after us, so yeah, it was great.
Okay,
especially the road shows afterwards as well.
Yeah. Let's go a bit out of the realm of the normal here, because let's go back to Klerksdorp a few years ago. So Boerseun's in the main event with the Crow and the Loudmaster and a few other guys are there, and you go and I think it was a power bomb. You take the Crow up in a power bomb and you power bombed him on one of those hay bales, and the funniest thing happened. That thing just exploded open, man. It was just body on concrete. It was, oh man, I cringed so much, but inside I was laughing so hard because Crow was like, man, there's all these hay bales around here. We need to do something with them. I said, well, fall on them. Let's see what they're made out of. And he fell on the hay bale, man, and the thing just, it wasn't there. It wasn't there.
I was sitting in a week and I was looking through all my actually wrestling pictures and especially on that one, I looked at that one and I remembered it now that you mentioned it. So yeah, that was a good show. That was a really good show. And wow, what a wrestler, the Crow. To be honest, a new guy come into from the beginning. I think he wrestled as hardcore and taking. You know what? I wanted to give credit to Crow. I think whoever he wrestled against, he always let us look good. He took the bumps, he took the knocks, especially when we went back to Klerksdorp for the second time. Yeah, I think that small video is still on YouTube where I actually throw him into the table and he went in 110% every little match. That was a good experience.
That was when you put the table up on the corner post.
Yes.
And as he hit the table moved, and as he was still coming, the table still moved like it, and it was half table and half corner post. And I can remember hearing, all I heard was, "Oh yes, sis."
Yeah. As he hit that post all over. Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny.
That guy put his body on the line every wrestle match. Yeah.
Once again, being with him then and being the heels and things like that, you got to, so bad. And you look at it back, you're like, oh my goodness, what did we do? We just killed the Crow. And he gets up, he's like, oh no, it's lekker.
It was lekker, yeah.
Yeah,
I always wanted to ask him. I never asked him. I wanted to ask him always. Did he take something before the wrestling match, like a lekker dagazolletjie or a bottle of brandy, whatever? Because that guy went in 110%, and you can knock him down, and he stands up as if nothing happened. So yeah, he was a tough oaker. Really was a tough oak.
There's a secret to the Crow's power.
What's that?
Brandewyn.
I think so. I think it's more than Brandewyn.
Every time we had a show, he's like, Don. I say, yeah, okay. Just a little, just to take the edge off.
Just a little.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. No,
it also makes the blood a little bit thinner. So when you do, hit the pole or, go through a table or get hit with a keyboard or a broomstick or whatever the hell he was hit with, thumbtacks. There was nothing that the Crow would say no to.
Yes.
In terms
nothing.
of getting the shot. I said to him many times, I'm like, Crow, come on, man, you got to, you got to get a win under your belt. He says, Don, if the guy looks good, I'm doing my job. So I'll take a loss every single time. And I tagged with him so many times, and every time he just did more and more and more. What can you say about the guy?
You know what? The Crow never actually called the shots or the match. So you never worked out, or whatever you call it, your match against. You just go to the ring and you call the shots. Whatever you do, he takes it.
That's it.
Or you must tell him now, okay, come back or hit me or whatsoever. Yeah, because all my time I wrestle against him, and I wrestle a lot against him. He never made a call, so he was just taking it. So whatever it does, that's the Crow. Good wrestler, very good wrestler.
Does that now? A lot of times, some people don't understand the psychology of it, and I've said this many times before. A good, let me put it this way: a great heel makes a good baby face. And if if your heel is great, your baby face is good. End of story.
Yes. Yeah.
In terms of that, now I'm going to give you a tough question. In terms of that, who was the top 3 baby faces you ever wrestled? Well, the top guys you ever wrestled, put it that way, because you were a face.
Definitely Sean Kuhn. I think, Sean Kuhn. Giant Warrior.
Okay.
But okay, let's see. Anansi, definitely Anansi, and the Crow. Yeah, let's. Yeah. Well, hardcore. Let's give it to the Crow, but there's a lot. But you ask. That's a difficult one. The top 3 definitely Sean Kuhn. I enjoyed AWB as well. He wrestled good. Yeah, he also wrestled because the big guys. I used to like to wrestle the big guys because it was just. I think it was just let the crowd go. And Steven Tornado as well. You know what? He's also it was good. But I never wrestled a lot against him. So but if you look about size and weight, and I think that you can call it. And the toughest oak and the smallest oak, and not later on the times the smallest oak, but definitely Anansi. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Now
Terry, never forget Terry and Terry Madu. Terry Madu. I wanted to tell you, I think he's the number 1 heel ever in South Africa. He sides the crowd up just coming into the ring. Yeah, so you stand for 5 to 10 minutes. He's chirping the crowd. He's making him goedemoer in. So the crowd already hates him, and that was lekker. That was, I think, the wrestling was also to work the crowd. And if you, for example, Don, you know what if your first 4, 5, 6 fight didn't work the crowd, that was a balls of that. To be honest, you know what? It must always be from the first fight. You have to work the crowd to psych them up for the main event.
That's it. Well, that's the a great heel you can put anywhere on the card, and you know that after he's on, your show's fun because your crowd is hot.
Yes.
No matter what type of crowd it is. Where was the most hostile crowd that you ever wrestled in front of?
Definitely in Swaziland. What happened is Sean Kuhn phoned me and he asked me, will I go and wrestle on his brother's lots, Simonier lots? I will never forget it. I said yes, but I said to him, Sean, let's be honest, I can't go and wrestle in Swaziland as Boerseun. So he says, okay, no, then you have to go with Jason the Terrible. So I went with the mask and everything there. So I never went to Swaziland as Boerseun. So I wrestled against Sean Kuhn. In my mind, it's a lot, maybe 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 people at the most.
Yeah.
Don, I'm telling you, coming there, 5,000 plus guys. Crowd, it was a big festival. There was a merry-go-round, there was the wrestling. So here I am, as Jason the Terrible. I've got that saw. The Friday night was just to psych the people up. The big event was a Saturday night, so we were the main event. coming out there, out of the Makish tent. I never saw the crowd coming there, and it was just people. It looks like Alice Park, I promise you. Coming down there, and I was starting, that thing doesn't have a chain, and all of a sudden, this people was just running. They were so scared of this guy coming from America with this chain, or chainsaw. I mean, the chainsaw, and I got the chain around my neck as well. So all of a sudden, I'm wrestling as the bad guy, a heel. Never wrestled much as a heel.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I enjoy this. I enjoy it. So I was chasing the crowd all up and down there, making them cross. So as we starting wrestle, hit Sean, go out, and all of a sudden Sean come back and he throw me out of the ring. The biggest mistake ever. All those people are on top of me, hitting me with a full tin of Coke, Fanta. So I'm into the ring and I'm in a mask, and I said to him, whatever you do, please don't throw me out again. And what will Sean Kuhn do?
Throw you out again.
Throw me out again, yeah. So the biggest crowd was in Swaziland, and then in the Wembley Stadium, that time as well, in South Africa, the Wembley Stadium, I think so, yeah.
Okay. Now
I think so. When we used to wrestle also the Platteland, on those showgrounds and stuff like that. That was also lekker those times.
Okay.
So,
all right. Now, you haven't wrestled in a while.
Yes.
Are you retired?
No, I'm not. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity.
You waiting?
Do you want to take me? Do you want to take me? No.
Well,
do you want to take me? Do you want to end my career?
I'll need a step ladder just to get eye level to you, so I can give you a proper stare down. No, the reason why I'm asking now is because before we went on now, it's the CrossFit, and there's been a video of you boxing and things like that. And I mean, you're not exactly we're not exactly youngsters anymore. So, is this, if you get the right opportunity to do so, would this be your last run?
I think so. I wanted to make it big. I was just waiting for the right. I was actually struggling with a groin injury for a very long time.
Okay.
So yeah, that was actually keeping me out of the whole thing. So yeah, it's much better now. I started CrossFit now in the beginning of November. Mm-hmm. Totally complete. It's quite hectic. It's nice. I'm pushing myself under this whole thing. I think I'm ready. Yeah. So I think I would love to have a retiring match and so. But I will do one thing, and I will say it now on air, and I promise you, when I get out of the ring, I will take all my clothes and my boots, and I will throw it in a dustbin, so that I will never go back to a ring again.
Well,
just there and then.
Terry said exactly the same thing. You don't want to have a situation. We mentioned some wrestlers, Blacksmith, that have retired, seven retirement matches, still doesn't want to go. We won't mention.
Well, coming to the Blacksmith, I wrestled him once against his brother as well on Thunder Strike. Oh, what a wrestler! Yeah. So, but he took all the good things, and it was actually just like this 2-meter guy against this little midget. So. Yeah, so I just went in hard, and I was just throwing him all over. You must just go. I think it's also on YouTube. So I was throwing the Blacksmith all over the ring and stuff like that. So
there we go.
Yeah, and he said to me, you know what? He thought maybe he was coming from the top rope, but this was like coming from a second building. The way I was throwing him around. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That was great.
Ups. Oh. This is going to be a difficult question to answer, but where you are now in your life personally, and you're an ordained minister and things like that. In terms of the back end of professional wrestling, the promoting and that type of thing, do you think at that stage of your career, if you had known what some of the backstage stuff was like, would you have gotten involved in professional wrestling?
In my life now?
Yeah. Looking back retrospectively.
So, yeah, I think so. I think you can still now. I actually never knew that I did. So I think you can, as a person, not by saying it, but maybe the way you're living, you can definitely make a change in people's life, and it's always to take and get the best out of people. So I wanted to tell you, I think I met a lot of wrestling guys and friends. I will call them all friends. I think that we're all friends, not just on the wrestling side, but there's quite guys that actually struggle in life with deep things, and that always open up against me. So and what a privilege for me is to pray for them and pray with them. And so yeah, I think maybe that's where the Lord wants me, and that's where He can use me, and wherever He can use me. Yes, to answer your question, I will still do the same, and I think I will just handle it maybe better, and just to uplifting the guys maybe better and stuff like that.
All right. Good answer. Right, now, I ask this of all my guests that come onto the show. If you had to pick the perfect team to wrestle with you against an international team of any wrestlers, any generation, who would be on your team and who would be on the opposite side of the ring?
How many guys?
Okay, it's yourself and 4 other guys, and then a team of 5
myself
on the other
and 4
side.
other guys.
Yeah.
All right, it will be definitely myself. I think I will take Sean Kuhn, I will take Tornado, and I will take Ananzi, and I will take you.
Oh, thank you very much. Who is standing on the ring opposite you? Any guys, South Africa, international, whatever it may be, any guys, any generation on the opposite side of the ring, who would you have on the opposite side?
You know what? In time likes when I was start wrestling as well, I think I would love definitely to wrestle against the Undertaker. I would love to wrestle against what's his name? Diesel. Okay. I think all the like tall big guys. I think that looks good. Yeah, and then definitely the Crow again. Again. I'll put him there. He deserves it. Terry Madu. I think I'll put Terry on the other side. Yeah. It's just a shame that he's injured. I would also love to maybe do my retiring match against him, but yeah, that will never happen.
Those
so
hips.
Those hips will never make it. Yeah.
Right.
Will never make it.
You've got one guy left.
One guy left. Let me quickly think. Who would I love to see that side? Yeah. Well, I think Manny the Pharaoh.
All right.
I think Manny the Pharaoh.
That's a strong team.
Old wrestler, yeah, but no, I think that's it. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, Nobs.
I think if you look at those guys, I think that was good guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobs, I'm going to ask you one last question before we go. What was the one?
Yes.
What was the one wrestling move that you wish you could do that you never did?
Maybe do a moonsault from the top rope.
There's always time.
I think it would be nice. Yeah,
there's always time.
I don't know. Or do you think I could? What was that move? Rey Mysterio did the 360.
The 619 through the ropes.
Or the 619, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm joking. No, I rather prefer them coming from the top rope. Yeah, coming there with a moonsault.
My goodness, that'll be a tall moonsault.
Yeah.
One more cage match.
I would put the guy on the top corner.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow, that's. I think that will be great. You know what? I think I owe Ananzi one. There was never a winner.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do something like that as a retirement.
There we go.
Retirement match.
There we go.
Oh, set him up. I will do it. I think that will be a great experience for me to do that. I think I will.
Awesome.
I think I will.
Nubs, listen, I want to thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your time. We appreciate the work that you put into professional wrestling and all the great matches that you put together. We want to thank you very much. And thank you for opening up to us and being on the show.
Thank you very much for the invite, and it was nice talking to you, Don.
Great. Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. The Boerseun, live and in living color. This has been Loudmouth Presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut, and doing moonsaults off the top rope.